Hello friends, welcome you all to another video and today we are going to continue Hamlet, which was written by William Shakespeare. So today we are going to look at the Act 1, Scene 2. As you can see the setting, this scene uh, uh, happened inside the castle. It is a morning and a big hall is there. You can say it is a court also, and the characters which came on the stage, these are as following. You can see the Collidius is there, Gertrude is there, Hamlet, Altimund and Cornelius, Polonius, Latus, Marcius and Bernardo, as well as Horatio is going to come on the stage. So let's get started. So it was the morning after Horatio and the guardsmen saw the ghost. King Collidius gives a speech to his courtier because it is the after the marriage night. After that ceremony, he wanted to give the speech to the courtsmen about his marriage and about the forthcoming problem, a thread from the 14 bar, who is the Prince of Norway. And he was explaining his recent marriage to Gertrude, his brother's widow, and the mother of Prince Hamlet. Collidius says that he mourns his brother, but he has chosen to balance Denmark's mourning with the delight of his marriage. He mentioned that young 14 bars has written to him, rashly demanding the surrender of the lands old King Hamlet, won from 14 bars father, that is old 14 bars, and dispatches Cornelius and Voltinman. These are the two characters. So the Collidius has dispatches one letter with the Voldemort and Cornelius to meet the uncle of Prince 14 bar, who is the king of Norway, who is the 14 bar's elderly uncle. And in this way, Cornelius and 14 bar leaves the stage. So actually, it is only their role of the Holton man and Cornelius. So after his speech, it was coming to conclude. Collidius turns to Latus. So Latus is also there. Okay, and Polonius is also there. Latus, who was the son of the Lord Chamberlain Polonius, and Latus has to go back to France to learn some skills. Okay, the sword skills, and therefore Polonius has brought Latus there to take seek permission from the Collidius. So Latus expressed his desire to return to France, where he was staying before his return to Denmark for Collidius' coronation, his marriage ceremony. Polonius gives his son permission, and Collidius joyfully grants Latus his consent as well. So after that, Collidius turned to Prince Hamlet and he asked why the clouds still hang upon him. It means that why his mood is not good. Actually, Hamlet's mood is not good because actually after the death of his father, he thought that he is going to become a king of Denmark. But instead of that, his mother got married with his uncle Collidius, and Collidius became eventually the king of Denmark. And therefore, it is very, very sad for Hamlet. So therefore, Collidius got that Hamlet is not happy. So therefore, he asked him that the clouds still hang upon him, as Hamlet still wearing black mourning clothes, because the black clothes, which is we can say that it is also that he wanted to that he just continued the mourning of his old father. Okay, and then Gertrude also talks to Hamlet and she urges Hamlet to cast off his knightly color. But Hamlet replies bitterly that his inner sorrow is so great that his door appearance is merely a poor mirror of it. Affecting a tone of fatherly advice, Collidius declared that all fathers die and all sons must lose their fathers. When a son loses a father, he is duty bound to mourn, but to mourn for too long is unmanly and inappropriate. Collidius urges Hamlet to think of him as a father, reminding the prince that he stands in line to succeed the throne upon Collidius' death. With this in mind, Collidius says that he does not wish for Hamlet to return to school at Wittenberg, where he had been studying before his father's death. As Hamlet has asked to do, Gertrude echoes her husband, and she also proposed that and she also expressed her desire that Hamlet should remain there. He should remain close to her. So Hamlet stiffly agrees to obey her. Claudius claims to be so pleased by Hamlet's decision to stay that he will celebrate with festivities and cannon fire, an old custom called the King's Rouse. Ordering Gertrude to follow him, he escorts her from the room and the court follows. And now Hamlet is alone there. Everybody has gone. Okay, so Hamlet here expresses his first soliloquy. So please point it out. First soliloquy of Hamlet occurs in Act 1, Scene 2. First soliloquy. So alone Hamlet explains that he wishes he could die, that he could evaporate and cease to exist in his soliloquy. He was wishing that he should die, he should exit from this world. He wishes bitterly that God had not made suicide a sin. Anguish he lamented his father's death and his mother's hasty marriage to his uncle. He remembers how deeply in love his parents seemed, and he cursed the thought that now, not 2 months after his father's death, his mother has married his father's far inferior brother. I'm just reading some part of the soliloquy of Hamlet. O God, a beast that wants discourse of reason, would have mourned longer, married with mine uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules within a month. Ere at the sight of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married, O most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous shades. Hamlet quite suddenly as Horatio stride into the room. So after the end of the soliloquy of Hamlet, Horatio, Marcius, and Bernardo comes there. Okay, so Horatio comes with the Marcius and Bernardo. So Horatio was very close friend of Hamlet at the university at Wittenberg, and Hamlet was very happy to see him, and he asked him that why he has left the school to travel to Denmark. And Horatio said that he came to see King's Hamlet funeral, to which Hamlet curtly replied that Horatio came to see his mother's wedding. But Horatio agrees that the one followed closely on the heels of other. He then tells Hamlet that he, Marcius, and Bernardo have seen what appears to be his father's ghost. Stunned, Hamlet agrees to keep watch with them that night in the hope that he will be able to speak to the apparition that is the ghost of his father. So guys, here the Act 1 Scene 2 ends, and we are going to also complete the Act 1 Scene 3 and Act 1 Scene uh, 4 actually. Sorry, it is a spelling mistake. So Act 1 Scene 3 as well as Act 1 Scene 4. Okay, so the Act 1 Scene 3 happens at the Polonius house, and the character come on the stage as Ophelia, Latus, and Polonius. So in Polonius house, Latus preferred to leave for France, bidding his sister Ophelia a farewell. He cautions her against falling in love with Hamlet because, according to Latus, Hamlet is far above her by birth and to be able to love her honorably. So, since Hamlet is responsible not only for his own feelings but for his position in the state, it may be impossible for him to marry her. And then Ophelia also agrees to Latus, and she keeps Latus' advice as a watchman close to her heart, but urges him not to give her advice that he does not practice himself. Latus reassures her that he will take care of himself. And at the point Polonius comes there because he wanted to tell him that the ship is ready and therefore he should leave for France. So he tells Latta that he must hurry to his ship, but then delays him by giving him a great deal of advice about how to behave with the integrity and practicality. Polonius admonishes Latus to keep his thoughts to himself, restrain himself from acting on rash desires, and treat people with familiarity, but not with vulgarity. He advises him to hold on to his old friends, but be slow to embrace new friends, to be slow to quarrel, but to fight boldly if he needs arises, to listen more than he talks, to dress richly but not gaudily, to refrain from borrowing or lending money, and finally to be true to himself above all things. So let's move to the next act, that is Act 1 Scene 4. So guys, again I am just apologizing. I express my apology because it is a spelling mistake. Act 1, scene 4 here. Okay, the character on the stage, it is Hamlet, Horatio, Marcius, and it is again the setting of the play. This scene is outside the castle, the main gate of the castle. So it is now night. Hamlet keeps watch outside the castle with Horatio and Marcellus, waiting in the cold for the ghost to appear. So shortly after midnight, trumpet and a gunfire sound from the castle, and Hamlet explained that the new king is spending the night carousing, as it is the Danish custom. And he was very, very disgusted, and he declared that this sort of custom is better broken than kept, saying that the king's rivalry makes Denmark is a laughing stock among other nations and lessens the Danes' otherwise impressive achievements. Then the ghost appears, and Hamlet calls out to it. The ghost beckons Hamlet to follow it out into the night. His companions urges him not to follow, beginning him to consider that the ghost might lead him towards harm. But Hamlet himself is unsure whether his father's apparition is truly the king's spirit or an evil demon. But he declares that he cares nothing for his life, and that if his soul is immortal, the ghost can do nothing to harm his soul. He follows after the apparition and disappears into the darkness. Horatio and Marcius stunned declare that the even bodis ill for the nation. Horatio proclaimed that heaven will oversee the overcome of Hamlet's encounter with the ghost, but Marcius said that they should follow and try to protect themselves. After a moment, Horatio and Marcius also follow Hamlet and the ghost. So, guys, here we should stop here, and we will meet in next lecture with the new scene. Thank you very much.